The word service usually implies facilities and amenities in the hospitality industry, yet the service industry encompasses a lot more activities and as such annually contributes more than 50% of the local gross domestic product. And why not? Service industries encompass a much broader spectrum and in fact play a major role in everything that we do as professionals, consumers, citizens, and within family units. As consumers, we receive a multitude of services on a daily basis. As providers, we create and produce diverse services that have greater reach beyond the boundaries of Trinidad and Tobago. Our local service industry is diverse and growing and includes not just the traditional service sectors but also financial services, transportation, communications, shipping, health, education, government services, culture, arts and entertainment, fashion, as well as other associations and organizations. These services have the potential to enter international markets. As the demand for services worldwide grows, the local service industry is poised in all sectors to meet the challenges and opportunities.
I think we've come leaps and bounds. We have leaps and bounds still, but at least the industry is growing. There's an awareness for food. There's an awareness to be able to present food on par with what's happening within a particular function.
One of the many areas of the service industry that has already taken Trinidad and Tobago professionals into markets outside of this country is that of the professional consulting services, which cover many fields.
If I were to say Aegis was formed in 2001 with just 21 people, today we are 100 people. And the reason that is so is because there's a demand in the marketplace for the services. In fact, right now I have some of my staff in different parts of the islands doing work.
Not very many people know that research and development in the ICT aspects of the energy sector is the lifeblood of the energy sector. Without this research and development and technology to identify, to collect, to analyze data as to new sources of oil and gas and other forms of energy, the energy sector just will not survive.
The energy industry may be this country's largest single contributor to the local economy. However, collectively, the services sector is the largest employer in Trinidad and Tobago, employing approximately 80% of this country's labor force. The services sector is growing and changing, and the Trinidad and Tobago Coalition of Services Industries is positioned to maximize these opportunities for all members of the service industry, thus ensuring this country's strength as the leading provider of services within the Caribbean community.
The TTCSI is supposed to help the sector in terms of organization. It's lacked a coherent body to organize its efforts in terms of lobbying to government, in terms of developing of new legislation and regulations which will promote the growth of the sector both internally and externally. And the TTCSI is intended to be that overarching body that brings together associations working for the services sector in one body to lobby government, to develop the sector, to develop legislation and regulations that will in turn allow us to export services effectively.
When it comes to the issue of trade outside of the CARICOM region, that is where the whole question of the coalition of services come into play, because of the series of arrangements and agreements that are coming into operation as far as the CARICOM is concerned.
The diversification within this sector includes a dynamic new range of services that gives the industry momentum and brings opportunity for all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Our creative talents have found opportunity, expression and success both locally and internationally. Though still considered a fledgling industry with very little legislative support in place, a few have found individual successes in markets regionally, in the United States, as well as Europe.
Trinidad and Tobago, without trying, has created 300 Trinidad-style carnivals all over the world. The two largest street festivals in the westernized world are Trinidad-style carnivals in London and Brooklyn. You're talking about 4 million people on the streets that are billion-dollar economies for their respective cities. That's 300 markets that Trinidad and Tobago arts and culture have opened up in the planet for Trinidad and Tobago products.
In my case, Western Park has been seen throughout the Caribbean, in the United States, in Europe, namely London, and has been pirated in Nigeria, which I think is sad but true, but good, because if somebody took the time to pirate us, we must be doing something right. So we have the capability to export, but we need corporate Trinidad to invest, and there needs to be government help. It's a very particular industry, and we do need we have particular needs.
Well, because of the breakthrough that soca made in Europe and around the world, a lot of people who didn't know about soca know about it now. And a lot of them questioning, well, where this music came from, and obviously Trinidad and Tobago is where it came from. And what keeps it coming over and over is really the carnival season.
Too many times we sell our services abroad, outside of Trinidad and Tobago, without the clear understanding that what we're really doing is exporting, and that we have protections in international trade agreements to promote our exporting, and that we can call on government for support in order to promote our exports abroad, not just our sales abroad.
The establishment of the TTCSI has already proven to be an invaluable step in recognizing the magnitude and importance of the services industry in Trinidad and Tobago, and consequently moving the country closer to developed nation status with a diversified economy. It is certain that the services industry, combined with TNT's strategic location, educated and motivated workforce, sound macroeconomic framework, and foreign exchange stability will position the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago as the obvious choice for business, particularly in the services sector.